Fucking love that intro. Welcome
awesome.
to Alien Theorist Theorizing Power Hour!
Woo!
Live
Good start.
on Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I'm Braden.
So,
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
end of the weekend.
Oh,
Another weekend where I drank every day
Nice.
and still drinking a little
I've
bit.
had to cut down. This running challenge, something's got to give. It's either going to be the beer or this running challenge. Because I'm fucking hurting. And I got D Radigan chasing me down, sent me cut a promo on me, making fun of me, saying he was coming for me. And I was like, yeah, right. And then I looked at the standings, and he was like, at the time, he ran a 10K, so he was like a kilometer behind me. I was like, damn it. Gosh,
Who is this?
fucking
Who's
fuck.
behind us?
This D Radigan.
Oh, a theorite.
Yeah, he's a buddy, lives up north. And I was like, there's no way he's that close to me. And then I checked. I was like, God damn it, he's right underneath me.
My running days are. I'm fucked. I went too
We
hard.
got-
I did too hard at the start, and my knee. I can't even run 1K without my knee exploding.
Hey,
Is this guy's real last name Radigan?
yeah,
Like the bad guy from The Great Mouse Detective? It's pretty fucking awesome.
totally
That's
forgot
pretty
about
sweet.
that.
Professor Radigan.
Zell, you know what? Knee's a long way from the heart, bud.
Well, I'd rather not destroy my knee, so I'm not. I'm gonna wait because I waited 2 days. I ran. Waited 3 days. I ran. No help.
Oh, I did 3 days in between a run. Then I went for a 10K. I was like, it's not even my knee. It's my Achilles.
Your
Achilles.
Achilles.
No,
Why
my
do you
knee's
say it
so
like
bad.
that? Stop.
How do you say it?
Achilles
What's the way?
tendon.
Achilles.
Achilles.
No, not. You're saying Achilles.
Hercules.
No,
Yeah, you are. Stop.
I'm saying it normal.
No, you're not. Not even close.
Say it
Just don't
again?
say it.
Say
Just
it
don't
again?
say it. No, you say it again.
Say it.
Achilles.
Stop saying it like that. You're fucking killing me.
What are you talking about? I don't get it. That's it. The Achilles tendon.
Sure.
How am I supposed to say it?
Achilles.
Slow it down for me. Let me turn up my volume so I can hear.
Achilles.
That's what I'm saying. Achilles.
Achilles.
I'm
Anyways.
not hearing a difference here, boys. Is it really that bad off-putting?
It's terrible.
It's awesome. I'd like you to actually put a little more emphasis on it. A little bit more.
Achilles?
Yes.
Achilles.
It changed the
My
kind of
Achilles tendon.
Achilles.
My
Achilles tendon.
Achilles.
But that's it, dude. This running challenge has taught me two things. I can run more than I thought I could, and I'm in terrible running shape.
I'm bad shape, man. This has been an eye opener for me of how out of shape I am. It wasn't like the distance. Like it's fine. Like I wasn't that tired at the end of the runs, but man, my joints.
Due to the body breakdown.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, we're all old as fuck now.
This is the first time I felt old because I've never had knee problems in my life. I played sports. I never ever injured my knees, not even one time. And now I ran 42K in like 6 days, and that's over for me. I destroyed my knee for life.
He's getting his wheelchair tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going back on the bike. Easier on the knees.
So we're basically I think confirmed now. We've got another minimum 30 days of the same isolation that we got right now before things potentially start live opening. We should do another 30-day challenge that is low impact, baby. Like a 30-day stretch challenge. Right?
30-day stretch time.
30 yoga sessions
30 yoga sessions.
led by
Or
me and
just like
Braden.
we did one 30 days that was good for your health. And now let's do one of like different tall boy every day. Right? Let's mix it right up.
You
Something a little
burned
easier.
you burned off 100,000 calories. Now you're gonna double that in the next month, putting it back on.
Okay, I just got to pull this up here because of the unbelievable numbers being put up. Well, I'll give a shout out to some of these people. First place, Daniel, with 322.1 kilometers in 19 days.
That's a lot of
That's
distance.
fucking bananas.
It's unbelievable. He is Forrest Gump. He's putting up Forrest Gump numbers. It's crazy.
He just kept running.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Emily, at a distant second, but impressive, wildly impressive. 153.7 kilometers in 19 days. But you know what? It's still anyone's game between second, third, and fourth. We got Sodomize and Julian P with 125 and 100 with 10 days left. So that 1, 2, 3, 4 could change drastically. Well, sorry, 2, 3, 4 could change drastically. Number 6 is at 99, and number 5 and 6 is 99, 92, and then your boy Braden creeping in 7th with 72 kilometers.
That's impressive.
Lucky number 7, man.
Lucky number 7.
What am I stalled at? I'm stalled at like 40 something.
No, you're 13th. You're still at 13th, but you're falling every day.
Yeah, I was.
And there's a bunch of people that are going to pass you tomorrow.
I was
Whole bunch.
5th with those same numbers, but that was a week ago.
Yeah. But very impressive. I'm wildly impressed with everyone's running up. I'm like, every day I log in and I see like the like next tier of people like pushing further and further away. I'm like, God, are they going to take a break? Like, are they going to take a couple days off here?
It was fun though. It's been fun. Andrew, how many kilometers you got?
Sounds like a blast. Huh?
How many kilometers you got in there?
0.
I haven't even started. I didn't even log into that bad boy.
Dan?
This running challenge has made me run less.
Dan's in the negatives.
You know what I did though is the other day I forgot to take a video of it though. I threw on my 50-pound weighted vest and went for a fucking hill run. And I wanted to send a video because it's always Braden be like, oh yeah, well for me it's like running, but you know what I mean. I'm that much heavier than you, so it's that much harder. So I wanted to send a video and say suck it, but I didn't make it very far.
I don't think a 40-pound vest puts you on Braden's weight class still.
I don't think it does.
I'm a $170, and then you add 50 pounds onto that.
No.
Really? How much do you weigh?
225.
Yeah. Wow.
A thick boy.
Apparently. Well, I just watched you fucking smash a pizza, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, but he's running so much, he's burning calories. Oh, look at that. Get a zoom in. The pizza.
You know, well, you got to carb up for the run.
Yeah, 100%. How am I gonna? I'm running on an empty tank here. It's just crazy. So,
anyways, if you're watching chat, this is a power hour. We're having a few beers, but if you have any, we'll take questions because we have no topic. So, if there's anything you want to ask us,
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, you may.
I got a little plan for next time that we have a pod week. I'd like to put a suggestion forward.
Yep.
I would like to remake the Golden Girls theme song, but with us, and change it.
Golden Girls.
No, change it to "Thank you for being a maester."
how does it go?
I can't remember how the tune goes.
Sing a little bit of the song for me.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So thank you for being a maester.
Thank you for being a maester, Dan.
How's that fit?
It's gonna be good.
Sure. I mean, why
Maybe we
not?
get the Purple Wizards together to record a second hit song. Maester Daniel Part 2.
I have a couple of friends that make fun of me for fucking loving the Golden Girls. That show is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I have a deep love for the fucking Golden Girls because they are. I've went back and watched the episodes recently, and they're fucking hilarious. Like the writing on this show is so tight and fucking just the roasts are savage. Just fucking Dorothy roasting Blanche is probably just like the best thing in the world.
I honestly haven't watched a second, other than I know the theme song.
Really?
I have never watched it either. I can honestly.
You gotta watch it. It holds. I think it holds up. Like I think it fucking holds up like real well.
Nah, not for me.
No.
Good shit. No good jokes. Solid writing.
It's just one of those shows where it's like, you know what?
Wait. Why isn't it for you? Why do you think it's not for you?
It's
When's the era? When's it recorded?
90s, early 90s.
Here's the thing.
Oh, I thought it was way older than that.
I'm not going to
No,
say
no.
that I'm not going to say I wouldn't like it. But at this point in my life, there is so much on my what I want to watch that watching Golden Girls is just a low priority at this point for me. Real low.
There's a lot of good stuff to
You don't have
watch.
to watch the whole thing. I'm saying just like pop in an episode or two.
Oh, it's like
Maybe
the
I'll
X-Files
curate
where you
some-
can
I'll
watch.
curate some episodes for you. How about that?
You can watch like 2 or 3. I just want the main story
I'll
episode.
give you some real gold. I'll find out I'll get the prime ones for you.
I got a question. Braden, what's your favorite band of all time? I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm going to have to go with the first thing that pops to mind, Tragically Hip.
It's a good call.
That'd be my go-to. But that's always a tough question. What's your favorite band? What's your favorite band? Number one band. Number one movie.
Yeah.
Number one TV show. We know yours, Dan.
Yeah,
Golden
I can't
Girls.
remember where I read it, but I know like in interview questions, they're like, never ask somebody what their favorite thing of all time is. Always ask them what their top 3 is.
That's fair.
It's always easier because if you try to think of your best one, you're not going to get a good answer. But if you get like, what are your top 3? Then it's you can kind of put it in. That's a better way to ask that question.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me too because I've never been like everyone loves music, but I've never been like a music person per se, where I'm like,
Right.
oh, I got to go buy this new album or this or that. And then since podcasts come, I rarely listen to music. I've just started actually listening to more music this month, probably running, but outside of that, never. Like I never listen to music. It's weird. Even at the gym, I listen to podcasts.
For me,
all the time.
my favorite bands are always like I have like bands I currently are my favorite, and I have bands from like 15 years ago that were my favorite that I don't really know much about anymore. So that's a tough question. I've been loving Andrew Black Pistol Fire lately.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
Every song is so good.
Buddy, I don't know. That band just speaks to my soul. Like that is the best experience I've ever had at a live show in my entire life. In my entire 32 years of being alive.
It's a tiny little show, a couple hundred people.
Dude, I was
ripped.
fucking shook. Like I don't know, man. That band fucking, yeah, that's the best live experience I've ever had. But again, like if you're asking people their favorite bands, for me, it depends on like as far as like showmanship and live, you know what I mean, as opposed to like what your favorite recorded band is and stuff like that. Like it's such a hard question. But everybody knows the answer. It's Metallica.
There you go.
Metallica pre-Black Album.
So you're going early Metallica.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dan, some K-pop.
Yeah.
No. Favorite band of all time, Rush.
Rush.
Ooh, that's a good
one.
one.
Like there's no contest. Like favorite band
You know
of all
what?
time, Rush.
That
Always.
was one of the first things you told me when we met and you found out I was from Canada. You're like, you listen to Rush.
Man, like
love them.
I dig Rush too, but I can't like my top 3 would be Metallica, Zeppelin, and Black Sabbath for sure.
Ew. I mean, Zeppelin is like some
Love
of the
some
greatest
War
recorded
Pigs.
rock music ever made.
Ever. Like just I don't know, but I've been really getting into fucking to just a lot of like blues and shit lately.
Like old, like blues standards, like old blues.
No, like newer stuff. Like have you ever heard of like C6 Steve?
No.
I've been getting down on him quite a bit lately, and I know I go through phases though, right? Like it's hard. And then you know, at the heart, I'm always going to be a metalhead. So, and there's a new Every Time I Die album coming soon, which I can't fucking wait for.
Is there a cool slang name for like soft rock listeners?
Like
Softies.
Softies? Soft serves?
What?
Softies.
That's you
yeah.
just made that up.
Andrew, you ever heard of
self-proclaimed?
someone just said you guys should listen to baby metal if you want to change your life forever.
Yeah.
Oh
What's
man,
baby metal?
I just baby metal
They're
hurts me so
okay.
much.
No,
because
Bandmade.
it's
I showed you Bandmade. I like Bandmade better than I like Baby Metal. Like I
Listen.
know Baby Metal, but Bandmade is good.
Baby
I like it.
Metal. They're amazing musicians, like amazing musicians. And then it comes in with this fucking K-pop shit over top of it. And you're like, why are you ruining this amazing fucking metal right now? Like, oh. But like, if you like,
I don't know if this guy's listening, not to sort of just talk about when they say this will change your life. I kind of got into it with a guy on Facebook today. He's like, you guys heard the secret of flat earth yet? And I saw it pop up on my messenger feed, and I was like, all right, I'll buy it. And I was like, secret? I was like, dude, it's pretty mainstream, like not much of a secret. He goes, no, the secret of it. I was like, oh, God, I'm gonna be sucked into something stupid.
Yeah.
And then he's
hiding God.
So then he goes, I was like, hiding God? And he goes, no.
Disney.
Right. So then I'm like, all right, all right, what's the secret? He goes, well, it's just all fake.
What's fake?
So then I was like,
The flat Earth is fake.
what? What's fake? And he's like, well, it's just a bunch of trolls trolling. And I'm like,
that's
all
kind of
right,
true.
well, they have conventions and stuff. Like we've met some. They're pretty serious about it. And he's like, nope. And it's just trolls trolling suckers. That's what it is. That's the secret. And then I just gave him the old thumbs up. I was like, thumbs up. All right.
Wait.
I mean,
Cool.
that is
How it started.
probably closest to the truth.
Oh, we've talked about it before. Like we've talked to David Weiss. David Weiss is not a dummy. He's doing that for the money. He's riding the flat earth wave. If tomorrow there was fucking riptide earth and it was the earth is in the shape of a wave, he'd be riding that wave next too.
I like Donut Earth.
Donut Earth, yeah.
Donut Earth's good.
Well, if you subscribe to the Hollow Earth theory, right? Could that be not Donut Earth right there?
Could be,
Two
yeah.
holes.
Yeah, could be. Oh, Andrew. What do you got? What are you drinking tonight, boys? I got myself a classic PBR.
Got some Neutral.
I'm drinking a Tricycle Radler.
Oh, I love those. Those are
They're
really good.
pretty. You know what? The first couple sips, I thought I was like, ooh, little
It's the
too much
cranberry,
grapefruit.
right? Is it
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
But no, they're pretty good after a while. What's this book about, Andrew? Should I read this book?
Yeah, you'd most
It's a
definitely
pretty
should.
insane story. 20 years. What's the book called?
It's called Chaos. I got to look up the rest of the name. Hold on.
Anyways, it's about Charles Manson,
says-
MK Ultra, and all the good stuff.
It says Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s by Tom O'Neill. And it's just like every chapter you get mind fucked, man. It's wild. Like I kind of missed out. I didn't do the case file on MK Ultra with you guys, so it's kind of my first dabble into the CIA mind control and stuff like that. And it's like, like the fact that this is real is blowing my fucking mind. This is going to turn me into a flat earth person because I'm going to be going on YouTube now because I'm like, it's all fucking real. Like if this is real, the world could be flat.
Dude,
My mind is exploding.
that's what happened when Dan was like, we should do Gladio. And I was like, yeah, it's a confidential. We did the first one. And like, I got into it the night before and I was just like, this is real? This is all real stuff that they did? And they wrote about it? Like, there's evidence? This is fucking crazy.
I get it now. I honestly fucking get it. Like this is, after reading this, dude, I can't even handle it. Like,
You're reading it right now? Like you bought it right after that podcast?
I'm on chapter 9 right now.
All right, I'll crush it. Maybe we'll do a case file on it.
Well, we could do about 14 case files.
Yeah, you
on
could
it.
do a whole podcast on that story.
We'll do a 2-parter.
Like the fucking the links between that Jolly, what's his name again? I gotta look it up. I had it saved.
Jolly Roger.
No, close. Something close to that. It's Jolly West, and his links, like he's Manson's psychiatrist, and he's also fucking Jack Ruby's psychiatrist.
That was a crazy point when the guy made that.
Dude, like, that's fucking nuts, man. Like, Jack Ruby, perfectly normal guy, and then he goes in, has one fucking session with this Jolly West guy, and then goes fucking absolutely batshit crazy.
So how'd they find him?
I forget what school he went to. Was it Berkeley or something like that? This guy got all his fucking files from when he worked at UCLA or Berkeley or whatever the hell it was, and went through it and found the links between him and MK Ultra. And then he ended up
Yeah, but like everybody was linked to MK Ultra back in the day.
You gotta listen to it. You read it.
What was that, sir?
Oh, I'm telling Dan, like, you gotta listen to this guy present it. It's crazy.
It's nuts. Like it's
I'll
this guy
read
basically.
it. I know. I read some reviews on the book, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just like it's a bunch of holes, and he just fills it in with whatever he wants.
That's my favorite kind of book.
All right.
And those are my favorite kind of holes as well.
He would beg to differ. I think what he spent 20 years on that thing, researching that.
Yeah, man. That guy's story is pretty nuts too. Like that was a really entertaining podcast. I listened to it today. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, so you got a question here. Do you guys have any rival conspiracy podcasters? Yeah,
we should.
All of them.
Yeah,
We
we
see each other at AlienCon and the snapping starts.
No, we don't got any rivals. We got friends.
Yeah,
we're pretty chill with all the.
It's actually pretty funny. I would say right through the spectrum of like between us and like more serious podcasts. Like it's a tight knit group. Like everyone gets along great.
We get a little fun poked at us from Greg Carlwood, I think, and his crew for calling not just us specifically, but podcasts like ours, because maybe we don't take some of the topics so seriously. We're being called conspiratainment.
Yeah, but
Well, joke's on them. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Well, the thing is, I bet we could get rivals really easy. The problem is like, I feel like we got thick skin and like we make fun of ourselves enough, but it's like, yeah, it's like none of that bugs me. I'm like, I don't care. But I was like, I bet if we turned it up and was like, did some chirps back, we'd make some enemies pretty quick.
We might chirp a little too hard.
But the thing is, like, we are chirping in good fun, but people might not
take it that way.
Well, it's the best when I read these 1-star reviews where they're like, unprofessional.
Oh, dude,
not doing the fucking content justice, and I'm like, what the fuck? If you're looking for professional opinions, podcast probably not the right place to go. First of all, like
if you in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker.
If you're really into a big topic, like you're really into a topic and you know it, like you're really into it, why go looking? Like you should just know that whatever you're about to listen to, you probably already know. So why are you going to go down that route? And then you're going to make fun and write bad reviews for the people who don't know as much as you. Like, not the very big thing professional guys.
The big thing for me too is like these guys are like unprofessional. Don't do these topics justice. And I'm like, motherfucker, the only way I can look up this topic is on Reddit for a bunch of random dudes saying their opinions. And I'm like, where's the professionalism here? 90% of this isn't even fucking real to begin with. So like, what do you want from me, dude?
It's like, you didn't check the 4chan post from 2012, the blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what? Why would I check a 4chan post?
Yeah. I wonder how many
Why would
of
I
those
dig that up?
after our QAnon one.
Oh, for sure. After the QAnon, where we were just dumbfounded by that one. Got a few.
People are like, you didn't research it enough. Like, we did. Oh, no, we did research. There's just nothing there.
Yeah, we're and we just don't fucking care. Like, this is dumbest.
Man,
I was like, even on the surface level, like for me, like a conspiracy is where like just beneath the surface, you're like, oh, this is kind of interesting. But it's like you tell me like the surface one of that, I'm like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The QAnon was the best one when like all this COVID stuff has come out, and like all the claims. Every time there's a news story, it's a claim that person's now going to be arrested, or they're part of the whole thing. Justin Trudeau,
yeah, Tom Hanks.
No, Justin
Tom
Trudeau
Hanks,
was
he had to hide in Australia, so he must have got his lawyer to get rid of the outstanding warrants when he came back.
They went real hot on the Stay Home concert that they just did, and apparently there's all saying that every performance had some sort of like satanic symbolism
Well,
I watched
slash
the first one with Lady Gaga.
pedo thing,
I watched the
whatever.
first song she was singing, "Smile." Like it was like an upbeat, happy song.
Well, if you look, I seen like a quick cut of that of all the times they did say we're one world, one world. They said it a lot, so a lot of people freaked out about that.
I'm really, really glad we got on this topic because I have something to speak about.
Speak, my friend.
So things are heating up in Vancouver where I work right now, and we're getting lots of protesters, lots of people walking around with signs. And a thing that's happening very, very often at VGH, Vancouver General Hospital, is we'll have random people come into the emergency rooms and demand to be taken up to ICU and demand to go to the wards and see these COVID patients because, you know, it's a big ruse and I don't know, Big Sanny or some big something's fucking pulling the wool over all these guys.
Big Sanny.
Like
Who the fuck is Big Sam? Oh, I get it.
like, you know what I mean? So we're getting all these fucking guys harassing you.
Big Sandy and Big Safety are
Yeah.
fucking in cahoots here.
And so anyways, so every day we got these protesters and guys coming around fucking shaking ambulances and stuff. And anyways, we end up picking up this person very, very sick. He's got like, I don't know, he's got an esophageal varices, which basically he's got a ballooned vein in his esophagus that ruptured.
Ew.
Gross.
And when this happens, like these guys legitimately are projectile vomiting blood, like just steady streams of blood and can bleed out very fast. Like it's really, really, it's a very significant bleed.
Right.
Something that you got to get these people to hospital really, really fast. And I've got this guy in the back of the ambulance with me and you know what I mean? He starts kind of coughing up blood and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh shit, I think he has an esophageal varices. And then within minutes, it's like projectiling. So I screamed to my partner. I'm like, pull the fuck over. I need you back here. Like we gotta get a handle on this. And it's Exorcist, but instead of pea soup, it's blood. So my partner boogies around and we're worried. Like I'm trying to start an IV on this guy, get fluids in him, get rolling. And as we're doing this, the doors fly open and there's this fucking guy being like, liars, sheeples. And then the guy who's puking up blood like looks up and a stream of fucking blood shoots by this guy's head. And you should have saw the look on this fucking guy's face. Fucking just turns around and bolts away from the ambulance. And you're like, wow, fucking beat it, man. Like, but it's hilarious. Like we're getting shit thrown at us when we drive by. Like it's pretty funny.
Now, when you say like a lot of people, was it like a dozen people in the park or like what's going on?
Like every day down Oak Street, there'll be probably about 15 to 20 people with signs protesting. And then
What are they protesting exactly though? Are they protesting that like the government shutdown? Or are they protesting like it's a hoax or is it?
They're protesting the lockdown.
I think it's fake. Yeah, they think it's just a government move for totalitarian government. There's 3 people actually outside Home Depot yesterday when I went. And they were yelling at everyone and standing there, being like, "This is what they want." And then everyone was wearing masks. Okay, I missed the memo that everyone's supposed to wear a mask now. I didn't have a mask, so I was just standing there looking unimpressed in this lineup, waiting to get into Home Depot.
Wait, you have to have a mask now?
Well, everyone did, and then they were yelling at everyone. They're like, "You don't need a mask. There is no virus. It's just the flu." And then they're like, "This guy gets it." And I was like, just standing there. I didn't acknowledge, just wearing sunglasses, just stood, and then just like moved up 6 feet. And they're like, "You can go into the store. You don't have to wait in this line. This is all a ruse. Like, do not listen. Trudeau suspended the government. He's running. He thinks he's a king." And I was like,
He's Castro's son.
yeah, I didn't hear that. But
Communism.
I like that conspiracy because he does kind of look like Castro in some pictures.
Oh,
a little bit, yeah.
It's weird.
Could you imagine? That'd be a good one.
I don't know, I haven't seen any so far. I haven't seen any protests in Kelowna.
Hey man, after reading that book, I'm open to everything. Maybe all these really sick people I keep picking up don't have COVID. Like,
Well, you don't know if they do or they don't when you pick them up anyway. Really?
yeah, the thing that we're noticing now is the people that we're seeing that are COVID related that have had this virus now for a while, they're starting to get really, really sick. Like it's getting to that point now where people are either beating it or they're getting admitted and getting put on a ventilator. And we've had like a pretty big influx of that lately.
So because I've been following numbers pretty closely, and BC's had about 600 active cases roughly for 2 weeks. That's what it seems like.
Well, but that's the thing, right? Like these people have already swabbed, and we already know that they're positive, but now they're just getting sicker, right? You're either recovering or you're getting sicker. Those numbers are still staying the same, but
Here's the issue I have with the COVID being completely fake is it's one of those ones where there's too many people involved for it to be fake. Like that would mean that at some point on the, like when you're swabbing people, you have swabbing people, like someone in that group, and lots of people would have to be in on like contaminating swabs, or like all the lab technicians across the country would have to be like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, test it for COVID. Yeah, test it. Like, they're all,
this is what it is.
So many people would have to be on board.
No, it's I've heard this. It's the test itself is working as intended, but the test is just telling you something that doesn't exist. So if you had like a different type of coronavirus, they're saying that you'll test positive for the coronavirus, but it's not. It has nothing to do with any type of disease, and it's all in your mind, and your mind is making you sick.
well, here's something that they're not telling everybody. So here's a little breaking news that they're kind of sweeping under the rug right now. There's a 30% false negative with our test.
Ooh.
That nobody's talking about, because that's I was talking with one of the doctors at VGH and bragging, being like, yeah, I got swabbed, I'm good, this and that. He's like, well, have you had any symptoms? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, be careful, because if you have symptoms, you still might have it, because there's a 30% false negative.
Well, I also heard there's some false positives as well. It's not 100% accurate. So some people
So
test
it's just a shitty test.
It seems to be not. It's definitely not 100% accurate.
No, definitely not.
So that's why
I think they're taking these swabs and they're putting it all into ancestry. I think this is big ancestry DNA.
building up the DNA.
Right? That's what I think.
So it's for
Right?
cloning
Soon
humans.
we're all gonna have to be swabbed, so we can trace all our lineage. Right? This is you and me. What's the me 21 whatever?
23 and me.
Yeah, that one too. They're in on it as well.
It's big
Right?
23
Big 23 and me.
and Big Sandy.
Big Sandy, all in cahoots. I just, it's just a weird time. It's a weird time to be.
It's a weird. This is my issue right now. Is okay. We've done all this stuff, right? Close the economy and keep people home, and for some places, it does 100% seem like the right thing to do in my mind. And then there's some places that have no cases. They've had nothing's happened, and there's no no one knows anything. There's yeah, just keep doing it, and you're like, but you know what? If you're in a place and it's not there, and you see everything closed, and you're like, well, why is it closed? I get that. I guess why a lot of people are getting a little frustrated now. Not necessarily in big cities or epicenters where you can obviously see what's happening, right? Dude,
Dan, don't they have protests that are shutting down bridges there to hospitals and shit?
Yeah, there was one in Michigan that they shut down. Protesters parked their cars outside one of the hospitals and pretty much blocked the ambulance lane going into the hospital.
Blow them up.
Oh my God. I'd be fine with me if they start doing that here. I'll be like, well, does that mean I get to go home? Like, do I not need to be here?
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. I don't know,
well, it's just like the thing that drives me nuts is it's like, especially for all health workers right now, it's like, this is already shitty enough. Like, why do you guys have to make it shittier? We're already wearing the same soggy, gross masks our entire shift, and wearing shitty face shields and hot and gross, and you know what I mean? It's just like, why do you have to add to the bullshit?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I can only speaking from what's happening in Kelowna, and I know people work at the hospital. It's not really happening here.
You know what I want to stop seeing right now? I'm sick and tired of these videos that people are posting shaming people who have a meltdown at the grocery store and fucking lick fruit and shit. Because you know what? Sometimes when I go to the grocery store, I'm just one wrong look away from doing the same fucking thing. I'm getting so fucking annoyed at everyone. If I have to pick up one green pepper that's rotten on the other side, and I have to buy that thing, like the next time that happens to me in the grocery store, I'm gonna fucking spike that green pepper into the ground. Right? Like, because this thing is like, well, you touch it, you buy it. And I'm like, then put the rotten side up so I can fucking see. I'm like, oh, dude, getting a mushy fucking cucumber. I was like, I'm not buying this. Then you go to put it back, and then people are like, "Oh."
They should just have a bin. They should have a bin there. If you pick up a bruised one, chuck it in the bin.
Tell you, there's gonna be a video of me spiking cucumbers in the fucking grocery store.
Then getting tased 10 minutes later.
Run around, Save on Foods, licking food. It's all a lie. There's no virus.
Wake up, sheeple.
It's a weird one because I think before we started this podcast, had this happened, I would have been like, you could have been like, look at this conspiracy. And I would have been 110% in that direction at that, like, yes. And then what this new information, 100% that way. And like now after researching so many conspiracy stuff, I'm like, I'll wait for all the, like, I want to see where all the cards lie now before I start.
Dude, I went through the rabbit hole on the COVID at the beginning. And that's what I came to. I was like, you know what? No one knows anything. This doctor says this, that doctor says that. That researcher said no one's really saying the same. No one really knows. So I was like, I guess I'm just gonna wait because where are you gonna? There's really everyone. No matter what any doctor is telling you, there is no hard study that you can go to and be like, this is exactly what we know.
I also love, this is my favorite one, where they're like, and someone will tell me or I'll read, and then it'll be like, the crazy thing about this virus is, it's not targeting, like it's targeting old people, but not babies. That's why it seems like it's some sort of like man-made virus because of the people it's targeting. And I go, oh, that is crazy. But here's the crazy thing. I don't know shit about viruses. So you could be like, the crazy thing about this virus is it's targeting babies and old people, right? And I'd be like, well, that's crazy because I don't know shit about viruses. Like, I have no fucking idea, man. I was like, you tell me anything, and I go, fuck, that's crazy.
Normally they they will consider the elderly and the young to be like when young I mean like children, infants, to be like a compromised group, an at-risk group. So that's why everybody's kind of like, it's just strange that it's mild for kids for the most part, but we are starting to see some kids that are quite sick with this too.
Yeah, but
I think
numbers
the
wise,
whole thing.
Well,
the whole thing with the numbers of people saying that the young people aren't sick, it's when they do these tests, it's like at the time of testing.
Well, the one thing that there's no hard evidence for this yet, but what a lot of the healthcare workers are starting to think now that it's the younger people who are getting sick from this, it's due to the prolonged exposure to it. So that's why, like, the majority of the young people that are the sickest from this are healthcare workers, and they're thinking that's because they're having the prolonged exposure to the fucking virus.
So they just keep putting the virus in their body over and over again?
Yeah, it's just being around it for that long, and you just keep getting sicker and sicker. And there's other things that are starting to pop up now too, like people are having like neurological damage and shit from the virus as well, not just respiratory, which is fucking wild.
Do you think that I'm curious? We had a pretty big a mass shooting in Canada yesterday. So
I thought it was today.
Was it today? Was it this morning?
It happened last night, and it finished them today.
My days are messed up. But I wonder. My first thought of that was like, I wonder if this has any correlation to like everything else that's going on. If this was a stressor put on the guy, but we don't know how many died. So far, 13. He was dressed as a cop, allegedly.
Well, apparently he beat his girlfriend, tied her to a tree, executed her family, then burned down their house. Then he proceeded to drive down in his neighborhood, knock on doors, dressed as an RCMP with a car done up to look like an RCMP, and then he would shoot the people as they came to the door. Then he drove around pulling over people in his vehicle and then shooting those people.
Yeah, this was completely premeditated. His car had all the decals and shit like that.
That's crazy.
For an RCMP car, everything like this.
Dude, how is that possible in this day and age? That like they make it where you can buy the uniform and you can buy all the decals and you can do it yourself. It's crazy.
You could just make the decals. You don't have to. You probably could get them printed or something.
Well, even like that, the other thing too is like he wouldn't even need the fucking decals. He could make his car look like a ghost car, and people are still pulling over. Like I hate that when you see those old retired Crown Vics.
Oh yeah, dude!
You fucking lock your brakes up.
Yeah,
well, yeah, you lock everything up, and then you see it's some fucking 16-year-old douchebag, fucking riding with the seat back, looking like a gangster, and you're like, oh, this guy's not gonna pull me over.
Got a question in chat.
it's
How easy?
someone asks, is it easy?
That's what you
to
think,
get-
and then you pull in front of him. Whoop whoop.
Someone asked, how easy is it for Canadians to get guns? It's not hard.
No, not really.
It's hard if you have a criminal record, or you don't have good references. Because I mean, if, for example, if Zell didn't have guns, filled out the application for guns, and then
I
put me
like
down as a
guns,
reference,
please.
they call me. They legit, like, they call your references and they go, all right, like, this is all private stuff. Like, is this person okay to have a gun? Like, but you gotta have a clean background and stuff like that. But I mean, for criminals to get one on the street, probably not hard. I don't know. We got guns everywhere.
Canada is like you take you take a course. It's like an 8-hour course, and you learn how to you learn your basic gun safety. You write the test. You get your pallet. You can just go.
You also learn how to spot pantaloons on a goat.
And then once you have it, though, you can just go buy any long rifle at any store.
Yeah.
There's no registry.
And,
I could go buy
another
100
8-hour
rifles.
course, you can get a handgun.
Yeah, you can get handguns, and they call it restricted. That's the next level up. So what's that? Handguns and like, is that pretty much it?
I think that's it.
There's
I
no
think it's just
there's
handgun.
no type of automatic weapon.
Fully
at all.
automatic. And then everything that we have is limited round magazines. So you can't, basically anything with more than 5-in-1 is illegal.
I think 7-in-1 you can get at like an
7-in-1?
SKS.
Yeah.
But then people
And then-
take out the pins and they put them to 30 anyway. So
Yeah.
whatever.
You get caught with that, you're in some
That's big trouble. Yeah.
hefty trouble. Whew.
Yeah. That you wouldn't go to jail probably, but you're paying the fine to the government that you're not going to want to pay. Not the first time, at least, not jail.
No. You'll never have guns again, though.
I got 4 guns personally. I'm loaded up for the apocalypse, baby. Let's go.
I got 1, 3, 4, 5. I have 6. I have 6 guns. We got tons of guns in Canada.
Tons
we
of
just
guns.
don't shoot each other as much.
There's no high round semi-automatic or fully automatic weapons. Easily, I'm sure if you're a criminal, you could get like some type of submachine gun. If you really had the money, you could probably weasel a way to get one of those. But
Oh yeah, those are going around.
like that's like they're rare. They're not going to hardly ever see that. I remember there was one murder in Kelowna between it was the like bikers. What was the guy? Bacon.
The Bacon Brothers.
Bacon Brothers.
They came up with like an AK-47 and just blasted his car, and that's like the only time I've ever seen automatic rifle assassinations.
I did that call when I was on my practicum.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. Like this, it was hard. The one girl got shot right in the spine.
Paralyzed?
Yeah, paralyzed. It was
And wasn't she was like the head Hell's Angels like daughter,
girlfriend or
girlfriend
yeah.
or daughter?
she was one of the Bacon Brothers' girlfriends and head Hell's Angels daughters. But yeah, it was pretty bananas. It was a decent experience.
Yeah, you're out on a practicum. Like, all right, this is something you probably won't see again for a while, but there you go.
Well, you see it like a little bit more in Vancouver. You see a little bit more of that, but here you don't see a lot of it.
No.
Because I know Surrey had that big gang problem. Is that still going on?
Yeah, you know what? Believe it or not, Abbotsford's actually getting a lot worse.
Really?
Abbotsford's
That's a small. That's like a Kelowna-sized city.
Yeah, Abbotsford's fucking really, really bad with gang violence right now. But with like the last shooting I did was a couple months ago in North Van, but there hasn't been much lately.
No one
All the gangsters are respecting the
respecting the measures.
stay-at-home order.
Yeah, they're all germaphobes.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
Or is it?
You know what, it
some
makes sense.
They had some towns in Brazil that actually the mafia, like the actual mafias, there were enforcing the lockdowns, like the quarantines, because the president of Brazil was like, it's not happening. Like he's more in denial than anything else, and it's actually the town gangsters are like keeping people in line. Be like, nope, fucking lock yourselves down.
They're germaphobe. That makes sense. I always wondered why they wipe down their guns so much.
It's always cleaning their guns.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah,
Guns.
that's what guns. They're easy to get.
You can, easy to get. I don't know. I don't know why. You know what? I'm all for everyone having a nice long rifle just in case. Apocalypse hits. You got to learn how to shoot some deer, get some food.
Run out of
Like-
bullets though.
Keep
I've
a stock.
I've never been a person that just like I'm just like, ah, you know what? I just want to go shoot some guns.
Oh,
Keep
we
me
used
in the
to shoot
fucking
guns.
woods and
We used to go shoot
like,
guns.
every now and then. Yeah, every now and then I'll go shoot a gun, but it's not like
Yeah, it's not like a hobby, a regular hobby.
What you
hobby.
need to do is you need to go and take a historical fencing class so you'll be nice and well rounded. Because when you run out of bullets, you whip out your short sword, and then you're ready to roll. So,
dude, when I got an SKS, and my dad was like, "Hey, do you want some ammo for your SKS? I'm going to the store or whatever." And I said, because I hadn't shot it yet, and I said, "Yeah, sure. Grab me some ammo." So he came back home and he's like, "All right, got you ammo. You owe me $350."
What?
And I was like, $350? What the hell are you talking about? He's like, "I got you ammo." So I come upstairs. He bought me like a crate of like 1,500 non-corrosive rounds, pre-clipped, like in this giant wooden crate. I was like, "Are you what?" I was like, "What? This is way too many bullets." I still to this day have probably 1,450 rounds.
Did you pay him for him?
I can't remember. Probably, maybe. Yeah, I think he gifted them to me after. He was like, after I was like, I just wanted a little box.
I wanted like 20.
He was
I wanted
like-
a box of 20.
He was like, "Ah, that's all good."
So I don't really have a lot of experience with guns. After this whole pandemic, I was like, hey, I need to get something. You know what I mean? But up until now, I never really had a lot of experience with them. But growing up, I have some questionable family members who make money in not the best ways. And one of the people that worked for one of my uncles lived in our basement while I was growing up. And I bought a car when I was about 14 and just left it parked in our yard. And it was right beside the entrance to this basement suite where this guy that worked for my uncles lived. So one night they end up coming and raiding our fucking house. Like cops, everybody kicked down our doors, rip our house apart, end up arresting this guy, pulling him away. He ends up going to jail for murder because he's apparently a hitman. And you know what I mean? Okay, whatever. That was a pretty traumatic experience, but didn't think anything of it. I turned 16, so now it's time for me to use this car that, you know, I haven't used for 2 years. And you know what I mean? It's got a system in it and all that. I'm all excited. And you know what I mean? Got my friend over and we're cleaning my car, and I pop the trunk and there's this duffel bag in the fucking trunk of my car. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen this before. Did it come with this car I bought? I don't think so. And we unzip this duffel bag and there's fucking sawed off shotgun, a Mac 10, an SKS, and then some other fucking handguns. And I'm 16 years old and I'm like, oh my fucking, like shit my pants, right? So what's the logical
You're like,
thing?
did I just become a gangster?
Well, yeah, like
You want to go
what's
shoot
the
him?
logical thing for a fucking 16-year-old to do?
Pick him up.
Well, let's take a drive up the road and let's fucking fire a few of these off. And the first gun we started with was the Mac 10 because of course that was the coolest looking gun. I remember pointing it in front of me with my skinny little fucking arm, pulling the trigger, and just doing a fucking spray right by my foot, up in the air, up in a tree, dropping the gun and being like, okay, well, let's go home. Let's never do that again. Ever. Ever again. I fucking filled my pants so fast. Like, oh, man. And then, honest to God, I didn't shoot another gun until I was an adult.
Yeah.
Like, after that, I was too shook, man.
So what, you just left the guns there?
No, we picked it up after. But after that, I was like, that's it. I'm not doing that again.
You still got the guns? Still
No.
got them? Yeah,
No,
you do.
no,
Yeah,
no.
you do. You got them locked in a safe or something.
No,
buried in the
I called-
backyard.
Fuck that. I called my uncle and I was like, yeah, you need to come take these. These are scary.
This is a good question. What's your guys' apocalypse plan? So you're obviously making a plan in your head there, Andrew. You're getting a gun. If it comes to complete anarchy, what's your plan? You sticking Kelowna? You just making fortress in the?
Oh, buddy, I'm fucking. As soon as that shit goes down, I'm packing up my car and I'm driving up to Habib Hill and shacking up with my family. That's it.
Yeah, they got quite the compound up there.
Dude, they live up there's an area where my entire unsavory family lives in the same vicinity. There's like 6 of them. They all live beside each other, and they're all got
within
their
a
own
block.
Yeah, it's crazy. They call it Habib Hill. It's fucking hilarious, and that's exactly where I'm going.
I remember your uncle paid for a battery in my car one time. My car battery died, and I don't know if he found out through my dad or something that my car was in the fritz. So he had a guy come, like, open my car door and put a battery in my car, right? And then told my dad, like, hey, let Braden know he owes me $50. And I was like, oh shit. So I drove, like, the second I found out, I drove right to his house, and, like, with a crisp $50 bill, I was like, here you go, sir. I was probably like 17. And he's like, all right. Well, luckily for you, I hadn't even written this one down yet. So
How about that time you didn't show up for work, Braden?
oh yeah. We got so drunk. So drunk on a Thursday night. Me and Andrew, for some reason, we're stupid, man. When we're like 18, 19 years old, absolute dummies. So we
Nothing's
worked
changed.
at a nightclub on Thursday nights from 10 to 2 in the morning. And then on Friday, like, we were still working as laborers, like, at a construction site. So then we would have to be there for 7 or 7:30, whatever. And me and Andrew used to just drink at work all the time. Like,
It's the only way to do it.
yeah, I used to be drunk when we left work, basically every shift. And so I, like, one of these shifts, get picked up, go home, and I'm sleeping, and blackout, man. I didn't set an alarm, nothing. I wake up, it's like 9:30, and I'm like 35, 40 minutes from the job site. Like, it's a tough drive. And it's like my phone's ringing, nah, 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 and I can hear it, and I'm like, get up. I'm like all groggy. I don't fucking know what time it is, and then, like, pick it up, and it's his. Like, normally I thought it would be my dad or something. I'm like, oh fuck, what time is it? And it's his uncle, and he's like, where the fuck are you? And I'm like, whoa, I'm I don't know, I slept in something. He's like, you got half hour to get to work before I send some of my boys over to your house to bring you to work. And I was like, fuck! Like, it's so drunk. I was there in like 35 minutes, like, came like stammering down the hill, like tripped, like
Sprinting,
rolled down the
pulling up
hill.
his fucking pants. Like, it was...
he's just like chuckling at the bottom. He's like, you made it. I was like, fuck, Jesus.
Yeah,
Most terrifying phone call I've ever received.
you couldn't tell if he was joking or not. You want
I was
No, I-
there.
I didn't
Oh,
wanna
we were
test
all shitting our pants. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. There was we used to do absolutely no work. There was this guy, Ivan, who was basically skinny Steven Seagal, and our whole existence was to watch this guy, and then when he left, me and Andrew would mock him and imitate him for the next 6 hours.
Buddy, the guy would show up and whip out his fucking tape measure and do Wayne Gretzky impressions with his tape measure.
That's all he
Remember
did.
that?
Yeah, and he'd like push a little piece of wood. He's like, "Who am I? Who am I?" And Wayne Gretzky, huh? Huh? We just stand there like dead face, like, "Oh yeah, cool, man."
So we were on this particular job site. We were actually building an NHL player's house,
Oh, right.
and this NHL player apparently was super fucking, like, uptight and suspicious, and, like, was worried people were always after him and stuff like that. So he had these, like, breakaway tunnels in every single one of his rooms to a fucking panic room.
Really? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
oh, it's fucking nuts. And so the best part about this, though, is by the time that this panic room was fucking built, there was a good 2 to 3 months where me and Braden did fucking nothing. As soon as the shift would start, we'd fucking make our way to the panic room.
You'd
and
like
this
sneak through a tunnel.
and we'd be there until the fucking shift ended. And nobody fucking had any idea. There would just be a pile of fucking dill pickle spits in this panic room.
And then the best is you could hear people coming because it's a job site, so you could scurry out of the panic room into other sections of the house before
Yeah.
people could get there.
It's fucking awesome.
How many people are on the
Good
crew?
times. There's like 6 people.
So they.
But me and Andrew were. I honestly I don't know why we were there.
You're the grunts.
But we didn't do anything. Ivan was the grunt.
Yeah. I didn't do sweet fuck all.
I would go pick up Timbits and like coffee.
It's an important job.
Like in the morning, at like 9:30, they'd be like, "All right, Braden, grab Andrew, go down and get us all some coffees."
Okay, there was actually something that we did which was pretty integral. So not a lot of people know about Pop Conspiracy, but he's a very angry, particular man. And he's very particular about his music. And it had to be on 104. What is it? It's 104.7 or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Power
back in the day,
104.
It was fuck, I can't even Power 104. I
It's
think.
Power 104.
Kelowna's
And
best
it was
rock.
Kelowna's rock station. By rock, we're talking fucking top 40. And at
Modern
this
rock.
time,
At the
this
time,
is
a lot of Nickelback.
at this time, Animal by Nickelback was the fucking song, and it just happened to be Pop Conspiracy song. And I mean, when this song would come on the radio, everybody would stop working because Papa Conspiracy would be like, "Whoa, you guys hear this? They're talking about fucking." And he'd turn it up and start air guitar, and we'd all fucking have to have a listen. And the minute he'd turn his back, either me or Braden would sneak up and turn it to fucking 101.1 Silk FM, and the guy would fucking lose it.
All the
Corona's
time, every
Easy
day.
Rock.
It was like a thing. It was like as soon as he was like out of the room and away from the radio, quick to soft rock, Silk FM, and then just slink away. He'd be like, "God damn it, who's changing the goddamn station?" Run storm off. Because it'd be like, you wouldn't always notice right away because soft rock stations are like that. They'll play some stuff that maybe the like hard rock station will play like for a lighter
Sneakles.
song,
Right on the
Some,
border.
you know,
right?
Right on the border.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it'll be like, come a chameleon. Come and go. We come and go. And then like, everyone, we're dancing. Yeah. So
Man,
mad.
we would call and request fucking Freebird and what is it 1973 or something by James Blunt
Yeah.
every day.
Every single day.
And we would request the full version of Freebird though.
I want
And
the
he
9-minute version.
They did for us once because we called every day. He's like, because it was only an hour they had to take requests. And he's like, boys, it's too long. It's too long of a song. But after like 3 weeks of calling, he was finally like, all right, for you guys, you call every single day. So we
Shovel
like,
solo.
yeah, shovel solo, like rolling it in the dirt.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Great.
It's
Good
dope.
old
times.
days.
Hey, we got this is a first for ATT. Someone donated a super sticker on YouTube, $10. Ramen noodles. I didn't even know you could do this.
What does that mean?
What is it? What is
I
that?
guess it's like you can donate to the stream, and when you donate to the stream, you get this big fucking sticker that goes at the top, and it tells you how much you
Did
donated.
you know that?
I did
Thanks,
not.
ramen noodles.
I wonder if it tells you. I wonder if it goes in chat. I wonder if it say it in chat.
I see it in chat. I didn't know what that was.
I thought that was a like now that I'm reading it, I thought it was a comment, and that was his like he customized his.
You get like a super sticker.
Neat.
Boom! I guess that's something you can do. There you go.
Right.
AGT first.
ATT first. Someone donated.
So Dan, what's your apocalypse scenario? Like, you're more likely to go into apocalypse sooner than us. What's your plan? What's your game?
I
plan?
live near DC, so it's like military would be here in like 2 seconds.
No, I'm talking like too fast. Like this is zombie outbreak. You're on your own. Military's not coming to help.
Probably make it down to the Potomac somewhere, jack a boat, sail down to Florida, get to Florida or North Carolina, or one of those ones, and then snag a yacht or cruise ship.
Oh. But how you gonna? What if they just can't get fuel for that cruise ship? Like, what are you gonna do? Just gonna anchor it?
Get somewhere, get to an island.
How you gonna get food?
No, I was thinking get to the island first. Probably, I don't know. You could probably make foraging runs into cities that have docks and things like that. You
Dan
probably
wants to
could.
hit his.
Most of the
Dan wants
warehouses
to-
will be on the
fast.
most of the warehouses will be on the dock places. Like
Dan
bust
wants to
open some
fast
Connex
until he gets that
containers.
island.
Dude, I'm
Get his
going.
island body ready.
I'm going straight to the Zelznick compound. It's fully cameraed. My dad has a godly amount of guns. Ammo, we got quads, we got. I think it'd be good. You could probably, if we had to, we could start building shelters on there, so you could get like probably 10, 20 families on that property. Have your own little fucking.
I guess so basically your plan is to take over the family business in the event of apocalypse.
I'm gonna go take over the family business shop, and use the tools to conquer.
That's all Papa Zell's ever wanted.
Well, it's very true. That's all he's ever wanted, 100%. So if there's apocalypse, yeah, he would be pumped if I came back there.
Maybe he's in charge of this whole thing just to get you to fucking take
It's
over
all
the
a
family
ploy.
business.
It's all a
This
ploy.
is
It's all a
Big
ploy.
Zelznick.
This is Big Zelznick coming here. He doesn't want. He's like, enough with the band. Enough that stupid fucking podcast where you talk about Bigfoot. It doesn't exist. This fucking Bigfoot is stupid. I don't know what you're talking about him for. Come build some shit. This is a big ploy.
He has probably the best apocalypse vehicle.
Well-
You know, it needs a couple like maybe some spikes and some push bars but like that he's got like this old International jacked up super truck. It's unbelievable. It looks like a monster truck.
So when my dad, one of his early contracts was like to help build this like hunting and fishing resort. So it was like a bunch of like small cabins and chalets, like maybe an hour out of town. And so part of his one time he didn't get paid as much as he should have. So they had this old mobile. It's a 56 International Travel. It's this giant like steel SUV, huge. And it didn't have like bench seats down the side. It had 2 long bench seats down the outside, like facing parallel with the truck. It had like a 14-seater. So that was part of his payment. And then he spent the next 10 years slowly rebuilding this thing. He put like a crate engine. This thing's got like 800 horsepower. He doesn't ever drive it. He might have driven it like 100K. He's just been building this like doomsday prepper mobile for no reason. He doesn't drive it.
If you go watch the Lucky Monkey music video for Go,
I'm gonna pull it up. I think I can pull it up.
that's what they drive in that. There is the best thing ever. The best time, because like I'm Ryan's. I've been to Ryan's house so many times growing up that there was one time that there was a fire on the hill. So we were all sitting there, and the fire was in Glenrose, and it was coming for the house. And Ryan's parents were at home, so Ryan called, and he's like, "Listen, there's a fire coming down the fucking hill. What do you want us to do?" Right? Like it looks like it's coming for the house. It's out of control. It's coming down the hill. And then James is like, "Fuck, get all the vehicles out, get the pictures." And he's like, "Who's there with you?" He's like, "Braden." He's like, "Shit." He's like, "All right, can Braden drive the Spider?" And I'm like, "Yep." Nope. Could not drive the Spider at all. Such a hard little thing to drive, man. I was stalling it nonstop trying to drive it away.
That was the snowmobile on wheels. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy time. I drove the International Travel. Had no seats. It just had a steering, like it had not even a wheel. It had a steering column with a wrench. And I drove this thing through the cop checkpoint because they're like stopping people from going back into the wildfire zone. You could get out, but you couldn't get back in. So I drove past the cop, driving this truck with a wrench with no seat, just like standing there, like kind of balanced on one foot, doing like a pistol squat and pushing the gas and brake with my right foot, pistol squatting on my left leg, and then driving this truck with a wrench. I go up there to the cop, and he just looks at me and goes, "What? Whatever, just keep going." And I was like, "All right." And I just drove through, like fucking wheeled this thing down. "Thank you very much, sir."
It was such a weird time because back then there was only really one way to get out of that area. So there was like people like getting out of the fire, like riding their horses and shit. And there was this huge just like traffic of like people like running with shit in their arms. Like it was fucking wild.
Yeah, legit horses on the street, like towing wagons with personal belongings. It was crazy shit.
That was the closest to the apocalypse.
That's what scares me about this year, man. Like it's gonna be fucking another crazy wildfire season, and with all this bullshit.
Well, they said this is gonna be an average flood. So with average flood, hopefully that brings a nice slow
down a bit.
A nice slow melt. It's not so dry right away.
My apocalypse plan, shit goes crazy. I'm
Go on the ranch?
I'm just gonna go to the beach. No, I'm staying on the island, buddy. Stay here. Got fishing. Sit up. I got guns. Just gotta go get some canned food.
No, the island would be a good
trips in.
choice because if the apocalypse does start and the ferries stop going.
I've limited zombies to deal with.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like limited. So, and I'm far enough away from the big city centers of the South that I wouldn't have to deal sure, a lot, but not as many as others. Not as many as any of you three would have to deal with.
I know Kelowna's that's not too big here. Hopefully,
You got 160,000 people. It's way bigger.
it's true. The Okanagan Valley, I think, is up to 300,000 people now or something. It's getting big.
There's going to be zombies. I mean, you're close, hop, skip, and a jump to being in rural areas, but then you got to watch for hordes, right? When they start the cities.
What kind of zombies are we talking about here, though? Let's be honest.
Fast.
If we're
28
talking
days later,
about
zombies.
we're talking about these slow walker type zombies, I give them fucking a couple months until they're all wiped out.
Have you seen The Walking Dead?
Yeah,
It's been fucking 20
I don't understand
years.
how they didn't fucking. I don't understand how they still have zombies in The Walking Dead. Those slow, stupid bastards.
That's why I stopped
How
watching.
long does it take a body to decompose to the
Right.
point where it couldn't you couldn't use muscle?
There's nothing left.
That's
Not
the
long at all.
thing. That's the point that gets me about zombie apocalypses. Is I was like, dude, why don't you just wait the zombies out? It's like they're slowly decomposing. Like when they turn to zombies, they don't stop rotting.
Well, what if the zombies are not actually dead?
Right?
What if the zombies are not dead and rotting? Maybe they're just the virus had taken over their brain or whatever. Like in 28 days later,
28
zombie.
days later.
It's
Terrifying.
like a rage zombie. So they're still human and alive, but they've just lost all ability to reason and no compassion, and they just are eating flesh and they're staying alive because they're consuming, but they're zombies. Those are more terrifying
Yeah, then we're all fucked basically.
because they can run and jump. It's just as fast as a human, just as fast
Not
as
me,
you.
buddy. I've been doing this running challenge.
Yeah, but you've
Run
been
all
running
day, baby.
7.9 kilometers every 10 minutes. That's pretty slow. They're gonna get you.
Dude, my pace is faster than that. My average pace is just over 7. Is my average pace. You're talking about the 1 kilometer that I ran, day 2, where I
Okay.
had
Here's a spoiler. Here's
my
a
sore
little,
Achilles,
Braden one time told
sore
me
calf.
this is what he told me. He's like, I've been trying to keep my heart rate at what did you call it? What did you call it?
Level 1.
Level 1. He's like I try to
or
keep my
whatever.
heart rate at level 1, which means I don't create lactic acid. And I was like, that means you're not increasing your heart rate at all. That means you're probably walking.
Buddy, there's science behind it. Look at it. That's what triathletes do, or marathon runners, long distance runners. I'm in it for the long game.
Okay.
Look at the standings.
true.
Proven.
I-
My method is proven.
I might not be able to get up there. I might not be able to catch you. Take a week off. I only have a week left.
I'm gonna do over 100. We got 10 days left. I'm gonna do over 100. I got sore ass legs though. They're sore. But that's my If we're 28 days later zombies, I'm gonna die.
We're all dead probably anyway. None of us can know how to farm.
Oh, I can grow a mean potato.
Yeah, but it's gonna take months. You're gonna die before you get a potato.
Well, I mean, we got to band together though. Everybody's got to specialize in one thing. You know what I mean? Zell can build some shit. I can take care of the medical stuff. Dan's the brains of the organization. I'm just
Dan,
kind
can
of
you
at
farm?
a loss what Braden has to offer, but
Entertainment. I'll be the court jester.
He's the
he'll be
jester.
you can dance for us.
Dan, people say you look stoned. Are you stoned right now?
No,
I think
stone
it's
sober.
illegal. Dan's never gonna incriminate himself in a state where it's legal. Not legal, I mean.
It's decriminalized here.
Is it?
Oh, it's decriminalized there?
Yeah.
Dan grows the weed.
Dan grows the weed. Yeah, maybe he does.
They
I've
just decriminalized it like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
During all this COVID mess?
Can you
Yeah.
can you buy it at the store then, or you just can have it and not?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can buy it at the store. I think you can buy it in Washington D.C. I think they have dispensaries. I'm not sure. I think you have
Dan,
to have a card.
do you guys have states that are already going to be opening up back up? soon?
Not that I know of off the top of my head.
I was just trying to figure out when Trump was tweeting all those liberate the various states, what was like, what did he mean? Like, I was thought, are those holdouts to like keep?
No.
He was just
Said
saying that
liberate,
because
liberate Minnesota.
Nobody,
I don't know what it meant.
literally, nobody has any idea why he tweeted that or what he was referring to.
Oh, you can guarantee if you go on the channels like that. What is it? What's now? We got 8chan. What's left? Where's
the on the
13
QAnon
yeah? Where's the
14
Q channel
the
now?
Q drops?
Yeah,
Q
you
chain.
guarantee that's a Q drop. That's something.
Oh, yeah.
Something's happening.
This is the battleground. This is where the battles are happening between the deep state and our Lord and Savior.
I had a friend, like a really good close friend, a guy that like a confidant, like a really good buddy of mine, that just started randomly messaging me one day about Trump ending sex trafficking
Yeah,
in
that's
these
the QAnon.
tunnels or something.
Oh.
Does any of that
Tunnels.
like?
What
Oh.
tunnels?
I don't know.
All
Underground
the
tunnels. Underground tunnels, and I'm like, it was hilarious too. I screenshotted it because Braden knows this person as well. I screenshotted it and sent it to him because I'm like, because the best part about it is he's sending me all this, and I was like, yeah, that's hilarious, eh? Like, and he started writing me all this stuff, and then I started responding in like all capitals, being like, "Pig babies, Joe, pig babies," like, because I thought he was quoting Alex Jones like for a laugh, and no, he's like, "What do you mean, man? Like,
What do you mean?
what do you mean,
Like,
pig babies?"
he's like, look at the literature.
And he's linking stuff, and it's like thefreedom.org.ca and like YouTube, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's I don't know, it's pretty funny.
I'm like having to, yeah, it's exhausting being here. I know I've read, other people feel the same way as I do, where it's just it is mentally exhausting existing as a US citizen at this minute. Like every day it's like I read something crazy and I'm just like, are you what? Really?
Dude, it's funny
And
because
they run you, it's like they just, I mean, they either know what they're doing or they're doing it, like I've said before, Trump is some kind of like idiot savant. He just does the things that he does because he's a product of that type of culture or whatever. But he vacillates so quickly between two sides, and I know that the people who do support him, I know, like, they read his Twitter and they're like, that's what he really thinks. That's what's really on his mind. That stuff that he does during the press conferences and stuff, that's for the sheep. That's just for the politics and stuff. That's not what he really thinks, where he actually has experts up there speaking about what they actually know, the Faucis and the Burks up there. And that's just for them, that's just the dog and pony show. And like with the stuff that he tweets, that's what's really on his mind. That's him speaking to the people, directly to the people. And I'm like, okay.
We have this thing where it's like, we have this thing in Canada that I've noticed now. It's pretty funny. The leader of the opposition party, Andrew Scheer, like Donald Trump would be like, that's it, no more China. And then like the next day, Andrew Scheer would be like, I think we should relook at our friendship with China. Like, we should be really checking that. And then Donald Trump will say something else crazy, and then Andrew Scheer will be like, you know what? Like, well, we should also be looking into that as well. And you're like, Jesus. Our prime minister is doing a press conference every single day where he just talks to Canadians, lets us know updates. I've watched a couple of them. Really good. Like, I'm like, he should be doing this every day.
You know what's funny about those?
For some reason, Andrew Scheer started to have his own press conference. He's not the prime minister. An hour earlier than the prime minister.
He's not even the leader of the opposition party. He stepped down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And on a CTV reporter was like, why are you having these press conferences if you have nothing to tell us? Like, you have no information at all. Why are you having these? It's great.
You know what's funny about Justin Trudeau's conferences, though? They always like, oh, look how good of a job he's doing at social distancing because it's just him on the screen. Yeah. And then one of the workers on the production crew took a picture of the tent, and there's like 100 people in a tiny little tent. You're like, okay, this is all a smoke and pony show here.
Dan, what do you like? I just would like to gauge your feelings as far as having Joe as the opposition now, the only opposition.
Joe Biden.
It's like fine.
Like I don't know. Like I don't know.
that's my
Just a
Yeah,
forced smile,
that
eh?
sums up
Just
my entire philosophy.
Well, it's like to me, like I don't like to get involved because it's, you know what I mean. It's not my country. It doesn't really have that much of an effect on me. But it's, you know what I mean. Like even just listening to him talk, you can see the cognitive decline. You can see a man that is deteriorating right in front of your eyes, and it kind of scares me because it's like this is the best that you were able to put forward.
It's complicated. The thing with Joe is he is the establishment's pick. Not so much the establishment though. He is the people who voted for him during the primaries, the people who put their votes in during the Democratic primaries are mostly like the older generations. And those are the people who vote, and those are the people who are like, we know Joe. Because Joe is older.
we
He's
are
been
Joe.
around longer. Not that he has been around longer, but that he speaks as someone who just like he's in the middle of the road. He's centrist, or as much as kind of that philosophy carries, but he's middle of the road. He's not trying to be radical, change the entire system. He is the system, and it's familiar to people, and it's comforting to them.
So it's more of the same.
Right. And those people who are voting for him, you know, he's writing a lot of stuff just like, you know, I was Obama's VP. So that kind of cinches the a lot of the older African-American voters. Like I watched this one show that's on, I think it's on Showtime or HBO. It's called The Circus. And it pretty much just follows a team of reporters around who kind of go behind the scenes at a lot of these like political rallies and like the primary work and stuff like that. And it's definitely slowed down now that I don't know if they're putting out more episodes because they would travel around to the people having they did the one where they did the North Carolina, South Carolina primaries and stuff like that. And like there were, you know, they talked to people, families, like a son who's like, I'm voting for Bernie. You know, because he has a progressive agenda. You know, the things that he talks about are things that I want for the future. And he's like, go ahead, ask my mom here. Ask my mom here why she's voting for Biden. And and she's like, well, you know, he's been around. He knows the things, you know. He's like, what things?
What things?
Like, what is his platform? What is he trying to get past? And she's like, we'll talk later. You know? It's like, what the fuck?
Dude, a lot of people vote like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's especially true here in the States and maybe anywhere, but they're voting for him because they just feel like he's the safest bet. You know, that's I mean,
Only two options though, right?
well, I can relate it back to the hypernormalization. People are all about the people who've grown up, you know, who are in control of the system now. They just want things managed.
Right.
They don't want change. They just want management.
Yeah, even keel.
You know, and that's what the people want, and those are the people. The sad thing is that the people who went to vote in the primaries overwhelmingly, you know, the older bunch. You know, the youth vote didn't get out and vote. There was a marked increase of people getting out and voting, younger people showing up to the primaries, but again, you know, it's the older people who went out and voted, and the younger people just didn't have a lot of the youth vote out there. So he's going to go in there, and he's going to, at this point, it's like he's the safest bet. And there are a lot of stuff that I don't like about him. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about him. You know, he's got, you know, the cognitive decline. I might mark that up to some, you know, some creative editing on some parts, like some of the stuff that people kind of put out there.
He definitely loses his way though in some of them. With you can tell it's no edit. He just kind of loses
live
what he's
interviews. Not so great.
Yeah, but
No, he's gonna get ripped apart in a debate.
It's gonna be brutal. Like
he's gonna get ripped to pieces.
Dude, I hope they just scrap.
Probably. They'll probably do
not too
man.
old,
They'll have
guys.
You don't
push-up
want-
contest
Yeah.
or
You
whatever.
don't want that. Trump's all hopped up on those fucking amphetamines and Diet
That
Coke.
dude is ripping
And fucking
lines of
McDoubles.
Adderall every day. Do not tell me
Yeah,
that.
you
guy-
do not want that. You do not want none of that.
Okay,
dude is-
Sleepy Joe doesn't want any of me.
Sleepy Joe. Is that what his
what
nickname?
he calls
Sleepy
him, yeah.
Joe.
Yep. Sleepy
he's not
Joe,
wrong.
Nasty Nancy, Lion, Chuck Schumer, whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
he just has little pet names for all of his political opponents.
He's a comedian.
Pretty fun.
He's a comedian. Whoa.
It's a
Rookie.
fucking clown, is what he is.
Oh, someone's calling our new number.
You just asked him to.
8675301.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's coming through to my phone.
8675309.
It's coming through to my mobile phone. I wanted to come through the website.
What website?
So we have a
We
new,
have a website.
yeah. Well, it's a voice over IP. So you need like a.
So it comes through the website, or does it come through the Skype?
Well, no, it comes through the website. I guess it's coming through my phone. Also, I guess that my phone is hooked up to this thing somehow, so I gotta fix that. But I wanted to answer it through here, but I guess I can't. I don't know. If you're listening
it works.
leave a voicemail. If it's you who called, leave a voicemail.
Oh, what a dirty! Call our phone, and then you ghost them. Send it straight to voice.
Well, I can't put this through to you. Well, here, here we go. Let's answer it. Let's answer it.
You're on
Speakerphone.
speaker.
Hello, alien.
Press 1 to accept or hang up to decline.
We got creditors calling you.
Hello, Alien Theorists Theorizing podcast.
Hello?
Hello,
Wait, whoa, did I actually do it?
you're in. Who is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he
this
can't
is
hear us.
Christian.
He can only hear himself.
You-
Oh, no, because he's probably watching on
I
his.
didn't expect to actually answer. What's up?
Oh, we're testing out a new. It was supposed to come through the internet, but it came through my mobile phone. So you can only hear Zell. You can't hear the rest of the crew. Who we
You know
talk?
what that means? Because Zell's such a procrastinator, and he's gonna have to fix this.
Yeah, that's
Call
okay,
at
I
all
guess.
hours.
Who we talking to?
This is Christian from States.
Whereabouts in the States? West
I don't know.
Coast? Whereabouts?
Mainly Florida.
Florida? We got ourselves a Florida man here.
Floridian.
Floridian. How's it going down there in
nice.
Florida?
I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, school's out, which is amazing, but
Yeah, I guess that's one of the bonuses at the moment.
Seen any skunk apes?
yeah.
You see any skunk apes down there?
Oh, plenty.
Plenty.
Friends with one.
You got one? What do you name him?
El Nasty, of course.
Attaboy. All right, hey man, thanks for calling. This was this was the very first call on this new number, so save this number. You can call back, leave a voicemail anytime. We're gonna start
Call
doing
back in like 5 hours, 6 hours.
yeah, whenever.
All right.
All right, thanks, brother.
That's cool. All right, bro.
Bye.
Thanks, Christian. Nice new phone number that works.
It works. You can. I guess you know what I could do probably. I connect my phone to the board, but I don't think you'll be able to hear me over Skype. I'll figure something out.
All right,
Someone else
I
is
gotta
calling
wrap-
again. God damn it.
Incoming.
that's it. Just keep calling. Keep calling, everyone, till
Keep
he
calling
fixes
his phone.
that.
Decline.
Till he sorts it out all night long.
Hello, Alien Theorists Theorizing podcast. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? You can hear the live stream through the call. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear? Well, you can only hear me. You can only hear Zell. You can't hear the rest of the guys, unfortunately, at the moment.
It's be like a weird delay.
I'm watching you guys. It's just that the timing is like so different.
Yeah, it's probably like 30 seconds behind.
You
or
got a
something.
delay on that and the delay on.
So
We
I
have
actually
to censor
wanted
ourselves.
To, like, give you guys feedback on the whole thing about the article and the tunnels with the
Oh, the tunnels.
with the sex
Oh.
trafficking. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Pig
know?
babies.
Pig babies.
So I'm from Mexico, right?
Okay.
And I lived there probably like 10, 15 years. And the past probably like 7 to 5 years would when it comes to organ trafficking and sex trafficking, it's actually incremented. Like the percentage has gone like skyrocketing, which a lot of people don't know. I'm not like a Trump supporter, but that's definitely something that needs to be taken care of. And I will tell you, as like a full 100% Mexican, it's something that definitely the president needs to put like security on there. And if there was an article about him stopping, through, and I can't really talk right now because I feel like the adrenaline from calling you guys. So
Don't worry about it.
So weird. I get that when I call radio
tunnels
stations.
that he probably stopped. The guys that do all that trafficking, they were probably using the same tunnels that they used for the whole, for like all of like the drugs. Hold on, let me put my sister on speaker. So the same tunnels they used for trafficking the drugs, they were probably using them to do all the organ and the sex trafficking. That's what I'm trying to basically say. And that's probably what he stopped. So I guess to finalize the call or whatever, we do need security down there. I know that a lot of people don't like the way that he expresses himself about, the other countries or whatever, but unfortunately, when it comes to the city borders in Mexico, they're out of control right now. And anything through the tunnels that go under those cities, like these guys are trying to pass whatever it is. And a lot of people don't know that, like in the past 5 years, I don't know, the increment of children disappearing down there, it's huge. So I just wanted to give feedback on that, and that I would not doubt it that he actually shut these tunnels down.
So is it tunnels then? Are you talking about tunnels then over the Mexico-USA border? Is that the tunnels that have been shut down?
No, under.
Well,
Under.
but like between Mexico and the United States, those tunnels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
These tunnels are still going. These tunnels are still working. There's so much like violence down there. I mean, I used to live in not the border city, but 3 hours from there, and in my neighborhood, which was a very decent neighborhood, they found what we call it's a security house, and it was a house with like I don't know how many organs, and they all belong to kids. So, yeah, this is like really bad. So, I mean, all of that violence, it like the percentage went up in Mexico. So, I wouldn't doubt it if all these people, all these like nasty people that are doing this were, doing it through the tunnels. So I just wanted to sort of be like, hey, it's not all a lie. Like, this is actually happening down there. And we do need security. Like, we don't need the racism, of course, but we do need security because obviously in Mexico, they're not going to do anything about it. I mean, that shit moves the economy. So, that's my feedback.
Okay.
I mean, I lived it. I was down there. So I'm just giving you guys, like, the whole scoop on it.
No, that's good because when we just heard tunnels, there was no other information about it. It was just the tunnel trafficking. You can't really find anything about it, so that's good to know from a first-hand account.
Yeah, anytime you guys want to know, anything about it, I would be more than glad to give feedback. I got stranded. I can tell you guys, my car broke down probably 15 minutes on Mexico side, like from Juarez, which is one of the most dangerous cities in the world. I had like no cell phone. My car, like it just, I don't know what happened to it. I had to pull over and I had to like run in the freaking desert for like probably 15 minutes to a hotel. That's another story for another day. But I lived down there. I lived the violence. I lived the curfews. So I can definitely, if you guys ever want to know anything, I could definitely give you guys full feedback on shit that's going down there, and that it's the way this president talks is not the best by saying, they're all racist or whatever, but this, like, that border, all those borders, because it's all those states, like, they need security. Like, and this could actually be something that the president could use for his advantage, but I guess he's just so stupid that he
Right.
doesn't do it the right way.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, now that we have this phone number, we're going to be taking more calls from listeners. So stay tuned, and if you want to call back and tell us some more inside information, please do.
Yeah. You guys keep doing a great job. You guys are awesome. You guys are hella funny. So just keep doing the good work.
Thank you very much. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
We didn't get our name.
The one thing I have with that though, because that my buddy was kind of saying that to me, and I was like, do you really think that a guy that is willing to brag on a press conference about his fucking Facebook likes and how popular he is in social media and shit like that would not be bragging his fucking face off that he's stopping these illegal sex trafficking and selling organs and stuff like that? Like, there's no way he's going to keep that to himself. There's no way.
I'm going to make a point as well. And again, unfair because we have the caller off, so she may have had some points. But still, you got to fix that so we can all have a conversation with her. But keep blowing up that phone, people. The thing for me is, I'm like, I don't think anyone's ever said like that stuff's not happening. We have that, we've had tunnels and stuff shut down between Canada and U.S. and Vancouver and stuff for the same thing, for running drugs and human trafficking stuff. We've never said that doesn't exist, but the issue I have is QAnon and Trump is stopping sex trafficking of children on the Mexico border, and I'm like, or just saving the kids from tunnels, and I'm like, I don't find that statement to make any sense at all, because I'm like, he's built a wall which doesn't stop tunnels. You can saw through that wall. I'm like, there's no correlation between that wall and dropping figures. And it's like, one people will be like, all this stuff is down since he got in. It's all way down. And then, as we just heard on the call, it's like all these things are up. They're all up. It's such because it's on the underbelly of society. We have no toll. Like, we have no real table of information.
I don't like the giving credit just to one man. Like, oh, Trump did this or Trump did that. Trump and how many people are working at the top end of government besides Trump? Like, Trump is just the pen swiper at the top. Like, isn't the president just the guy who signs off? He doesn't really do.
There's border
anything.
security. Like, that's their job.
I mean, you have people that, you have all the alphabet services, FBI, DEA, all those people that work on that, Homeland Security to some extent, that do all those things. Trump doesn't. I mean, he gets briefed on these things, but it's not like he has the final say in any of these things. Most of the operations are set up through the heads of each department. Like
this is what we're doing, Mr. President, and he goes, "Good job," and then they keep going. Or
he's the one who will take. He's the one who will love to take credit for it.
Right.
But
but he's not though. Like, that's what surprises me. Like, he's not.
Yeah, the tunnels for the human trafficking and stuff like that. Like, that stuff exists. Like, I've seen those. Yeah.
No one's saying that doesn't exist.
My thing is that Trump being the sole, again, like Zell put it,
secret, shutting these down without anyone knowing.
Yeah, that's
ludicrous. I don't think the guy does anything.
His plan and his policies that he's putting forward in order to try that he says are going to be the things that keep the drugs out. Most of the drugs and stuff come in through ports of entry. They don't come over the border. Like, we had, I think the FBI had their largest haul ever, like a couple times in the last couple of years, and they've all been through ports of entry. They've all been at seaports.
This is the same guy who, in a press conference, talking about best case scenarios of the COVID death count, said 100,000 deaths based on the most recent model, and then after he said the word model, he made a joke about banging models, and then went right back into 100, 200,000 people might die. Like, this isn't a guy who's secretly busting cabals. He'd be like, cabals are coming for you. I'm shutting all the balls down. The cabals, Steve balls, basketball. I'm shutting them all down. Baseball, they're all done.
Yeah, I don't think we need a stronger border protection to stop human trafficking and things like that. Human trafficking needs stuff like comprehensive legal services. You need to train people who are service providers to help out with like victim-centered services. It's not you need that kind of thing, and also like you need to stop criminalizing the victims. Like that's the kind of stuff that helps end
and-
human trafficking. That's things
I mean,
like that.
should
Or
be
somehow
easy for
ending the
people to
demand for
immigrate
drugs,
from a
like-
violent situation to someone that's not violent.
Yeah, the organ harvesting and stuff like that's happening. That's something else that it could, that's a whole deeper issue that is not going to be. I don't think border security would really help that all that much. Is there have to be other policies and probably some cultural shifts that need to happen to end that kind of.
Yeah, it's definitely more
if
complicated.
It happens in Mexico, it happens in Mexico. It's not like we can, the only thing that the states can do is deal with it on our side.
It's a much more
we have a
complicated
huge
issue.
human trafficking issue in Canada too. Like it's not like that issue isn't an issue just for between states and Mexico. I think that's a worldwide issue. Like
Yeah, it's a much more
people are
complicated
being-
issue than just one border.
yeah, like it's there's so many various cases and like things that you might not think right away are human trafficking, like it is, like where people are stuck and are given a place to live and they said, well, you have to work this job, but you're working for free because you don't pay rent, and their places of where they're living is subpar, and they're stuck in this circle. That's human trafficking. Like that's a type of human trafficking. Like we all think right away to sex work and stuff, but there's a whole wide ranging of types, and it's everywhere. It's rampant. Like it's not a thing that's new or specific to anywhere, one region or place.
Yeah, and legal services aren't built right now, or not even like it's probably not even on their priority list. I mean, it's probably up there, but it's like you need people who can deal with that. You can't just go in and bust. You can't expect the SWAT team to go in and bust these people. Like, all these people are being human trafficking. Okay, then what? You bust a human trafficking ring, and then what? What happens to the victims? Do you deport them back, or do you try to get them U.S. citizenship because they came here wanting real jobs? They didn't come here wanting to be human trafficked. So what do you do after that? That's all I'm asking. Is like, if you had a real, if there was a real plan, if there were real policies that were worried about dealing with human trafficking, that's the thing that you would worry about. You'd worry more about the victims and taking care of them after because you're not going to catch them in the process. It's less than likely that you're going to catch them. You're going to bust into a massage parlor. You're going to bust into wherever else, and you're going to take these people out. And then what happens to them then?
That's a whole, we can talk about that for a long time, but I got to give a quick shout out to Chris Mott. He's been waiting a long time. He did another super sticker earlier in the stream. And I just, sorry, Chris, we went on a tangent and I couldn't get that in.
Oh, I see that now. Thanks, Chris.
Chris Mott.
Woo!
Beauty.
Why are they all pairs? Is that like a thing? Like
I don't know. I must be able to go in there.
Is it a pair?
I don't know what that is.
No, that's because Chris Mott's pear shaped because he's so far down in the rankings on the running challenge.
Oh,
Boom!
Chris Mott. Okay, boys, we're going for about hour 45 almost. So I think
let's wrap this up.
This
Hour,
is
hour and 45.
Hour 45.
the quarantine number 3. I know. I like doing.
Oh, is that what we're calling them?
I don't know. I just
good.
called that right now.
It's pretty good.
Let's do it. All right. See you guys later.
That was awesome.
See you tomorrow.
See you,
Keep those eyes on the
everybody. Whoa, wrong one. No, Power Hour theme. Woo!